Let's move to the church a little bit.
Yes.
As you can see, there's a white
collar.
There's
It's
dog collar.
Our ordinary, we have collars, but there's special collars.
But there are special ones.
Yes.
We know priests are known to be busy people. I've grown up in a priest's home.
Yes.
And they're mostly busy because the church needs them, the people need them, the bride of Christ really needs them. But you also have a bride that needs you as well.
Yes, you're right.
So how do you get to balance ministry and family, and personal time and hobbies? Is that something you balance, or like you have some sort of like maybe priority or whatever? How do you get to, because I know you're involved at St. James Chapel, and then you have to come back and be a father here, and then you have to go and be a director elsewhere, and then there is personal ministry as well, people that invite you. How do you get to balance that boat?
It's quite interesting. Like you said, priests, we are so busy taking care of children out there. And sometimes you can be so busy out there, and you're not.
And you forget your own.
You forget your own, and I think it is balancing has been quite not easy, because I thought that as a priest, when I come, I do ministry, and Sunday I preach, then I go home. But you realize that I am a priest in a chaplaincy. So you are having meetings of management. You're having students counseling. You're having staff that you're handling, over 1,000 staff. You have around 20,000 students, the community, but of course you have different people that you're dealing with. And there is a lot of the church work to deal with. So balancing has been, what I have decided is that when it's time to go home, I go home. I just tell my administrator, it's time up, I'm home.
Disappear like Jesus.
I just do that.
Jesus used to just
I just go home. I say, I keep on telling them, and I'm so open to them. I tell them that, my children will never have a father.
Yeah.
My wife may not have a husband. So if I am to die today, the next week they will be posting a priest.
Right.
They will.
Yeah.
And therefore, I was called
for your family. They
when
can't post
I was in a family. In most cases, we forget that God called you because you belong to a family.
Yeah.
Sure.
And because you are taking care of your family, and gives you a bigger family. So, and as a priest, if you cannot manage your small family, then the bishop cannot allow you to be in charge of that big family.
Wow.
So it's very important.
Political status.
Yes.
That. Yeah.
So balancing it, I would say I'm going home. Time. I want to be with my family, to be with my wife. And they keep on telling me, my administrators, they keep on saying, oh, you love your family, your wife. And I say, I'm going home.
Yeah.
And then I leave. After leaving work, I don't go anywhere. I just drive home. Of course, my wife also is a lecturer. She's working and all that. But when I get home, I am able to sit there. And today in this country, children go to school and they come back at around 7. So when they come back home, they have homework that will take them 2 hours. As you're trying to Google and find out.
Sometimes it's math. But you did math, right?
Yes, I did
must
math.
Be easy for you.
But I try to give time. Like yesterday, I wanted to go back home, and I was called, told me, are you going to have 5 vigil? There's someone who has passed on. I said, no, I cannot go. Because I have
they even know the language of your things.
Vigil. I said, no, I cannot go because I've made my plans. Priests or parents have to learn, or fathers have to learn to say no.
Yeah.
It is time. This is time for my children.
That's a tough one.
Saying no.
It's a tough one.
They just need to. And because for me, I've been mentored, I've been brought up by priests. My father was not a priest, but there are those who took me on as fathers. Daddy, Reverend Medad really took me on when I was, I think I had not experienced love and care. And we just connected. We just connected, came into my life and just changed things. And I'm a priest because of that. So I have learned that you have to say no.
Yeah.
Now, to balance between work and home, you need to know that you are called from home to be a priest. So if your home is not well managed, guess what? The bishop is going to say, bye-bye, we cannot give you a bigger family because you can't manage that. So I've tried that. I spend time home. On Saturday, I'm home. And other days, I spend them at home. Yeah.
Wow.
That's amazing.
But I really I usually like to, when you see me, I'm always with my wife in the car.
Yeah. I don't think I have met you on the road
alone.
Even the last time when I tried to wave, yes. I still saw Sharon as well.
I think that's important.
So for her, I've met her sometimes alone.
For her, of course, we keep on moving.
She takes walks sometimes.
But it's important for me because there's no greater time that you give. I spend time with her. We talk. We are friends. We grew up. Of course, I was the worship leader. She was singing alto in the choir.
And I was the best somewhere.
Things.
Just
we were glued by God.
For spiritual.
Yeah, but do you think is it like what you've been sharing with us in terms of like whole balancing and prioritizing family? Do you think that it's something that happens organically or it's intentional? You put
it is intentional. You have to work on it.
Just be intentional.
Because you see, the problem is we get to be carried away and we become the Christ. You want to be Christ in everything and do all that, but you need to know that you're a human being. And you need to know that you came into this ministry, you live it. And it is what you can manage and what you cannot.
Exactly.
So for me, I know I am not Christ. I'm Aaron Godfrey Batte, a husband. So I don't take on that position. When you take on that position, you want to solve every problem. You are here, you're there, you want to impress people, you want to show them that you're really working so hard. And maybe Christ is up there and is uploading and say, oh, look at my son, he's involved in everything. Hey, wait a minute, it's a time to calm down.
Yeah.
It reminds me, like for us right now, we are getting launched more into getting busy with ministry as well.
Yeah.
And there's a time my wife used to ask me a lot, why always spend time with these guys? Are you thinking about us? And I remember we resolved with Barnabas. We decided and said, for us, ministry starts from home.
Yes.
My first ministry as a husband,
yes,
Joy, and then my children, and then the rest will follow.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, I think just listening to you, Rev, I think there's need for prioritizing, your relationships. And much as some of the problems may be so deeper, I will require more time. It's good to know, as you said, the skill of saying no. That's something I'm working on as well. Saying no when it is really needed.
Of course, there is a story that I was told. An evangelist left home to go to preach in the West and left the child who was sick at home. And said, the souls are perishing. So he left the wife and the children at home, and one of them was sick, and off he ran to preach the gospel. And while he was there, he was told that the child has a problem. I would think that the gospel would have been preached to this child at home by caring.
Right.
And being with this family and telling those people, you know what, I have a family that is sick. As much as I want to preach to many, there is work at home. And many of us we are deceiving ourselves that we are doing a lot out there, and yet we are denying love and care to our families. And sometimes that comes into me, and sometimes my wife asks me, hey, when we get married to the church in terms of priests and what, there's no difference between the church and the family. And if you're not careful, the church can become a co-wife in a way,
Technically.
or a stepson, or I like that, a stepdaughter to the children, to say, oh, he gives his time to the children, to the church, and less of our time with us.